Hi students, welcome to the video lecture 9 of heat exchangers. In the today's class, we'll solve the problems. The following data pertain to an oil cooler of the form of tubular heat exchanger where oil is cooled by a large pool of stagnant water. Temperature of stagnant water is 20 degrees centigrade. It is assumed constant. Whereas inlet and outlet temperature of oil is 80 degrees centigrade and 30 degrees centigrade respectively. Inside diameter and length of the tube carrying oil is equals to 20 mm and 30 meter respectively. Specific heat and specific gravity of the oil is 2.5 kilojoules per kg degree centigrade and 0.85 respectively. Average velocity of the oil is 0.55 meters per second. So calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient obtainable from the system. So this is the graph related to this problem. So here where oil is cooled by a large pool of stagnant water, he has given the temperature of stagnant water, he has given it as 20 degrees centigrade and inlet and outlet temperature of the oil 80 and 30 degrees centigrade. That means here he has given temperature of the hot fluid at the inlet, whereas temperature of the hot fluid at the outlet, it is 80 degrees centigrade and 30 degrees centigrade respectively has given. So temperature of stagnant water, where this water is going to cool the oil, that means this is treated as the cold fluid, where the temperature of the cold fluid at the inlet and outlet of the heat exchanger will be 20 degrees centigrade only, because this water is stagnant, it is not flowing in the heat exchanger. It is a stagnant water whose temperature is given. So here we are treating Tc1 will be equals to Tc2 equals to 20 degree centigrade. So the diameter of the tube he has given, whereas length also he has given in meter. The specific heat of the oil he has given 2.5 kilojoules per kg degree centigrade. So 2.5 into 10 to the power 3, we have converted it in joules per kg Kelvin. So he has given the specific gravity of the oil as 0.85. So already we know the formula. Specific gravity of the fluid is given by density of the oil divided by density of the standard liquid, whereas specific gravity of the oil is 0.85. So I want to calculate the density of the oil. So density divided by density of the standard fluid we are considering standard fluid as the water, where density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. So therefore density of oil, this will be equals to 0.85 into 1000, that will be 850 kg per meter cube. And he has given the average velocity of the oil as 0.55 meters per second. So directly he has not given mass flow rate of the oil, but instead he has given the average velocity of the oil. So with this already we know also this formula in the last fluid mechanics we have studied this. Mass flow rate of the oil is given by, that is mh, is given by density into area into velocity. So density of the oil we have already calculated here, 850 kg per meter cube, where area is pi upon 4 d square, and V is average velocity of the oil, whereas mass flow rate of the hot fluid is given by 0.1468 kg per second. Next, so let us calculate now heat transfer, total heat transfer in the heat exchanger. That is, it is given by mh into Cph Th1 minus Th2. So mh into Cph already, sorry, mh is this 0.1468, Cph is given, we have substituted this specific heat of the oil in terms of joules per kg degree centigrade, whereas temperature of Th1 and Th2 is already given. So my Q will be 18,350 watt. So we also know this formula where Q is equals to U into A into LMTD. Therefore, this overall heat transfer coefficient, he has asked us to calculate the overall heat transfer coefficient in this problem, where this U is given by Q divided by A into LMTD. So here again in this LMTD is calculated by this formula, delta T1 minus delta T2 divided by log of delta T1 divided by delta T2. I can use this formula, or I can write this equation in this form also, delta T2 minus delta T1 divided by log of delta T2 divided by delta T1. In both the forms, if we substitute, we are going to get the same answer. So let us calculate now delta T1, where delta T1 is given by TH1 minus TC1, and where delta T2 is given by TH2 minus TC2. So substituting the values, we have calculated the value of delta T1 and delta T2. The same values we will substitute here in order to calculate the LMTD. So my LMTD answer is 27.9 degree centigrade. So therefore overall heat transfer coefficient is given by Q. Q is 18,350 watt, already it is calculated here, divided by A. A is surface area of the tube, that is pi into D into L. Pi D, diameter they have given 20 mm, so I have substituted in meter, 0.02 into 30 meter length. So LMTD is 27.9 we have calculated. So overall heat transfer coefficient is 348.85 watt per meter square degree centigrade. So now we'll move to the next problem. So this problem is based on the effectiveness NTU method. So let me first read the problem. Consider a heat exchanger for cooling oil which enters at 180 degrees centigrade and cooling water enters at 25 degrees centigrade. Mass flow rates of oil and water are 2.5 kg per second and 1.2 kg per second respectively. Area for heat transfer is 16 meters square. Specific heat data for oil and water and overall heat transfer coefficient are given, that is specific heat of oil is given, specific heat of water is given, whereas overall heat transfer coefficient is given. So calculate the outlet temperature of oil and water both for parallel flow heat exchanger and the counter flow heat exchanger. So here all the values he has given except the outlet temperature of hot fluid and the outlet temperature of the cold fluid. So already while deriving the expressions, already I have told you, if the outlet temperatures of the hot fluid and the cold fluid they are not given, then solving such problems by using LMTD method, it becomes very difficult. So in such case we are going to use the effectiveness NTU method analysis to calculate the values of TH2 and TC2, both for parallel flow heat exchanger and the counter flow heat exchanger. So already he has given all the values here, that is which enters at TH1 cooling oil. Consider heat exchanger for cooling oil which enters at 180 degrees centigrade. That means the oil is going to cool here, which is at 180 degrees centigrade. That means TH1 is 180 degrees centigrade he has given, where TC1 is 25 degrees centigrade. Mass flow rate of the oil hot fluid, mass flow rate of the cold fluid he has given, area 16 meters square he has given, specific heat of the oil he has given in terms of joules per kg Kelvin only, no necessary of converting it. Specific heat of the water is given 4184 joules per kg Kelvin. If the specific heat of the water is not given, then you can assume this value as standard value. And overall heat transfer coefficient is 285 watt per meter square Kelvin. So now our main aim is to calculate TH2 and TC2 value. So first let us solve for parallel flow heat exchanger. So CH, let me calculate for CH. CH is nothing but product of mass flow rate of hot fluid into specific heat of hot fluid. That is 2.5 into 1900. My value is 4750 watt per Kelvin. If I will calculate CC, CC is equals to MC into CPC. MC is 1.2, already it is given in the problem. CPC is also given in the problem. So my value is 5020.8 watt per Kelvin. Now see here, we have calculated both the values of CH and value of CC. So here comparing both the values, CH value is lesser than the CC value. So here I will consider CH as the C minimum and CC as the C maximum. So already we have explained in the theory part. So which value is minimum value, then that fluid capacity rate of that fluid we are considering it as C minimum, and other fluid we are considering it as C maximum. So, and also we know the formula, this NTU, that is number of transfer units, is given by the formula U into A divided by C of minimum. So U overall heat transfer coefficient is given, area of heat transfer is given, C minimum is C minimum. This is the C minimum value of both this. So C minimum is 4750. So my NTU is 0.96. So now this is the effectiveness of the heat exchanger. So this is the formula to calculate the effectiveness of the heat exchanger for the parallel flow heat exchanger. So these formulas are available in your data handbook. No necessary of remembering these formulas. So where C minimum divided by C maximum is C, where NTU is replaced by N. So the same formula I have written here. So now I will substitute all the values. 1 minus exponential form of where n is 0.96, 1 plus this C minimum divided by C maximum is nothing but capacity ratio. So we have calculated here where C is equals to C minimum divided by C maximum value. Where C minimum is 4750, which is already calculated. C maximum is 5020. That is capacity ratio is 0.946. So I have substituted that value only here. 1 plus 0.946 divided by 1 plus C, that is 0.946. So this effectiveness of the heat exchanger is 0.435. So this effectiveness of heat exchanger we have calculated this value by analytical method here. So this heat exchanger value, effectiveness of heat exchanger value, directly we can calculate with the help of graphs which are available in your data handbook. In the next slide I will show you how to see the effectiveness of the heat exchanger by the graphical method. Next part, now our main aim is to calculate the value of TH2 and TC2. So effectiveness of the heat exchanger is also given by Q divided by Q maximum formula. So here Q, so which Q maximum is given by minimum value, that is CH. Here our minimum value is CH. So for that purpose I have taken here CH, the bracket TH1 minus TC1. So here the same value we are going to take to calculate the heat transfer here, actual heat transfer, that is MH into CPH, TH1 minus TH2 divided by C of H, TH1 minus TC1. So already in the theory class also we have already explained it. Which fluid is the minimum fluid, then we are going to consider that as the formula, standard formula. So here CH is the C minimum value, then my effectiveness of the heat exchanger is calculated by TH1 minus TH2 divided by TH1 minus TC1. So effectiveness of the heat exchanger is 0.35, TH1 is 180 minus TH2, I don't know the value, TH1 is 180 minus TC1 is 25. With this, in this formula only I have substituted this. With this, by doing the cross multiplication, and we are going to calculate the value of TH2 from this equation, that is TH2 we have got it as 112.57 degree centigrade. Now by using the energy balance equation, that is MH into CPH is equals to TH1 minus TH2, that will be equals to MC into CPC, the bracket TC2 minus TC1. That means whatever the heat is given by the hot fluid, that much amount of heat is received by the cold fluid. For that purpose we are writing is the energy balance equation. So already we know all the values we have substituted, except TC2 is unknown here, that only we are going to calculate here. Therefore TC2 value is 88.79 degree centigrade. This is the values for parallel flow heat exchanger. So now let us calculate the values for counterflow heat exchanger. So counterflow heat exchanger, this effectiveness of the heat exchanger is calculated by this formula. So I have substituted all the values here, that is N value is same only, it is 0.96, C value is 0.946 only. I have substituted all the values in this equation. So this numerator values I have written here, calculated values. So this much is the value. For denominator, if I will calculate, if you simplify this, then my answer will be this. So effectiveness of the heat exchanger will be equals to 0.4967. So here also effectiveness we are going to calculate by this method only, how we have explained in the parallel flow heat exchanger. Only here same formulas we are using here. Here if TH2 value we have calculated by using this. Similarly, we have calculated the value of TC2. So these are the values for counterflow heat exchanger. So now I will tell you how to calculate the values of effectiveness of heat exchanger by graphical method. So remember here, that is effectiveness NTU value is 0.96, whereas capacity ratio C is 0.946. So let me explain here. See here, so these are the graphs which are available in your data handbook. So this data handbook, these sketches I have taken from the data handbook of Hegde and Niranjan Murthy. So the same graphs are also available in your another data handbook, that is Kodandrama. So here I have taken only the sketches of parallel flow heat exchanger and the counter flow heat exchanger. So in the same page again you are going to get the graphs of cross flow heat exchanger and cell and tube heat exchangers value also. So related to this problem, so I have taken only these two graphs. See here, this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these indicates the values of NTU, that is NTU is denoted by N, where N is given by U into A divided by C of minimum. So these are the values of NTU, and 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, these are the values of the effectiveness of the heat exchanger, which we are going to get the answers in terms of percentage. The same graph, this is for cross flow heat counter flow heat exchanger also. So here these all are the values of effectiveness, and this is the values of NTU. Same. So these are the graphs. These are the graphs. See here, these graphs. This is C minimum divided by C maximum. These are the graphs which indicates capacity ratio as 0. This is the graph which curve which indicates capacity ratio of 0.25. This is the curve which indicates capacity ratio of 0.5. This is the curve which indicates capacity ratio of 1. So already we have calculated NTU. Our NTU value, we have calculated it as 0.96 and capacity ratio as 0.946. See here, so 0.96 NTU, it will be somewhere nearer to this 1.96 NTU, and this capacity ratio is 0.946. So 0.94 means this will be also somewhere nearer to this curve only. So where this curve and where this NTU line, where it intersects, so from that point we are going to read the value like this way, effectiveness of the heat exchanger. I think you have understood it. So effectiveness, that is capacity ratio value is 0.946. So this is the graph of one value. So 0.946, it will be somewhere nearer to this, and my NTU value is 0.96. So it will be also somewhere nearer to here. So I will go straight away here where it intersects this curve line. From there, with the help of scale, I am going to read the value of effectiveness of the heat exchanger. This is for parallel flow. So it will be around 0.43. Effectiveness of the heat exchanger will be somewhere around 0.43, because this is 40, 50, 60 like that way. So this will be 41, 42, 43, somewhere around 43 and 44 it will be. So now here also same. So this is the capacity ratio. Here also it is 0.946 only, and NTU is 0.96 only. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these indicates the values of NTU. So here also 0.96. So straight away I will move to the curve where it intersects the curve at capacity, where this NTU line, it intersects the curve of that capacity ratio. From there again I am going to come with the help of scale to read this effectiveness of the heat exchanger. So here it is 40, 50, 60. So somewhere it will be around 50% or 0.49. So which these values are related to the theoretically calculated values. So this is about the how to use the graphs. The same graphs you can use it for cross flow heat exchangers as well as for cell and tube heat exchangers, which are available in the same page. See, all the formulas related to heat exchangers, all other modules also, they are every formula is available in your data handbook. So you can take the values formulas from the data handbook.